Hello, my friends. Namaste and welcome. I'm Jill Loftis of Nuit Astrology. Welcome to your planetary energy forecast for the week of July the 17th, 2023. So I am so grateful that you're joining me here today because this is a week that requires some finesse and some understanding, all right? There are a lot of layers of astrology happening, and it's one of those, what planet can I blame this on kind of moments, okay? But if you, to know it is to work with it, right? To know it is to change it, or at least change your reaction, right? Remember, we can't always change what's happening around us, but we absolutely can control how we choose to react, how our mind and our mouth choose to react to these things, right? So it's definitely an astrological white light shields up kind of a week. All right, so let's hop into this. The first thing is we start off the week with a new moon, and it's a pretty groovy new moon. It's at 24:56 minutes of Cancer, so right around 25 Cancer. Now keep in mind, late degrees of Cancer is standing across the sky from Pluto, our planet of death, transformation, and rebirth. It is moving backwards. Pluto's moving backwards, right? Wrapping up those Capricornian lessons that we've become oh so familiar with since 2008, right? So here's a new moon across the sky from that. And this new moon has a really nice little sexy sextile to Uranus and Taurus, which gives some synchronicity, some luck, some magic. So definitely have those magical thinking ways of approaching this, right? Not delusional, but understanding that there is a magic of resonance, right? It also trines Neptune and Pisces, very inspirational, right? So it kind of has all this really nice energy, and then boom, right across the sky from Pluto. And so this is a moon. You've got to know where about 25 degrees of Cancer is in your chart. It's the new beginnings, right? But it's new beginnings that might come almost from endings because it's standing across from Pluto, right? So there's something you have to loosen your grip on, something you need to let go of. And then there's something you want to birth, right? Nurture. Cancer energy relates to the mother, to the fourth house of a home, right? But you have to know where it is for you. But Cancer is also kind of, it's endings, right? Get those claws, snap something clean, and something fresh and new comes in. Now, set your intentions in that area of life and see what happens, see what sparks up. Another thing that it might really bring up is what feels like home for you and where you feel safe emotionally. That is also Cancerian energy, right? And so that's different for each of us, but safety and security, definitely a thing. If you're not on my newsletter, please hop on. I do send out a new moon newsletter, and I have some great ideas for how to work with this new moon in Cancer. Now, on that same day, the nodes of the moon flip, right? They back in to the north node being in the north node being in Aries and the south node being in Libra, and a new 19-year cycle begins, a new eclipse cycle as well. Now, this time it's kind of a cosmic stressor, because as they move backwards into these new signs, they are going to come into a more direct square configuration with the planet Pluto. So again, Pluto very much still in power, right? Still getting things done, still breaking down some of those structures that we've been relying upon. And I think we'll see this really in a big picture way this week, particularly as we get later into the week, as the sun progresses further through the sign of Cancer and comes to that late degree. When it comes to that 29th degree, it's going to pick up that opposition to Pluto. It's also going to square the nodes, right? And so we will have a configuration that we would call a grand cardinal cross. Now, because those particular signs, Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, because those signs are so initiatory, right? They're starter energy. They tend to be a little bit more volume up when they get triggered in these types of events. So know where those areas of life are for you in your chart, and high vibe them, be it by embracing change, being change adept, understanding the lay of the land. Let it clear any fog away. We have some nice Neptunian energy this week, but use it for inspiration and spirituality. Make sure you're not using it just to delude yourself and just to, pretend everything's okay, right? You've got to see clearly where the change needs to be made, and then you need to make it, right? Now, at the same time that all this is happening, we have Mars prepping to stand across the sky from Saturn. And Mars is in Virgo, right? So wanting to be precise and get things done, right, in a certain way. And I always think of Mars as being like the more of a youthful, kind of male, yang energy. And it's standing across the sky from Saturn, the old man, Father Time, right? And Saturn is in Pisces, which means it's a little slippery and you don't know really what's going on. And I just see this as like a battle between the young warrior who has these ideals and wants to do it right, and the old guy who's like just not fighting fair. Okay, so kind of that's just kind of a metaphor for the way I see the energy. But see where you're having like a push-pull from the Virgo part of your chart and the Pisces part of your chart, and you have to try to harmonize it, right? You have to take specific actions and be discerning. That's what Mars and Virgo is asking you to do. But you also have to honor that Saturn through hard work, hard inner work, right? Because Pisces energy is really about the subconscious and not understanding where the triggers are coming from. So that is another energy to keep your eye on for this week. All right, as we get into Tuesday, the Sun in Cancer picks up a trine to the Neptune. That's a beautiful flow of energy that's happening. It lends a little bit of support. Make sure you're meditating, doing your spiritual practices this week. It's like, it doesn't matter what's going on out there. Get right in your own spiritual realm. It's really important that you do this, okay? On the 19th, we've got the moon in Leo. It's going to square Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. So really watch this, because when you have a Leo moon, it's like, I want to be seen. I want you to listen to me. I want to be creative. I want to love. I want to make it big, right? But with this clash with the Taurus area of life, you have to just be a little bit more cautious, a little more careful, slow it down and stay grounded. All right? Yeah. Then on the 20th, that's when we get the sun really picking up the difficult energy to Pluto in the nodes. All right. So abundance of caution. 20th, 21st, 22nd. I want you to think slowly, drive slowly, no excess, just going out, listen to your angels and your guides. They're there to help you. Okay. You really want to have your white light shields up. All right. Now there's also a really interesting energy where Chiron in Aries is going to send a really nice beam of energy over to Mercury in Leo. So in the midst of this, there could be some really healing conversations as long as you allow your heart to be seen, right? So you have to be really discerning this week who you share your time and energy with. All right. The 21st is that precise grand cardinal cross. I mean, what can I say? You just caution flags up. Keep in mind that the Pluto will still be pressuring the nodes for a couple months here. So we're still in that vibe, but this is the precise one. And when you have the direct hit, it's just a different energy. When the energy comes together, it's stronger than when they're moving apart from each other, right? All right, on the 22nd, we have another kind of a big day here. The sun is going to go into Leo, which is fantastic. Happy solar return to all my dear Leo friends. But it is also the day that Venus is going to pause in the sky and station retrograde in that sign of Leo as well. And so this is going to talk to us about what this overriding Leo retrograde what the story has been for you. We were kind of dealing with it all summer, and it's not really going to be resolved until we get to October. So take a look at what happens on this day that might relate to love, to money, to things you value. Where's the Leo part of your chart? What are you having to right? Well, that's what retrogrades are great for, right? Re-examine, rethink, redo. Here come the X's. Here come the old things that you may have wanted or valued, and maybe it's time to edit some of those things, revise some of those things. So pay attention to the station point. Always get some big hits of information that come through. Remember, this is a period that started in June, back in June 19th. All right, and then as we finish up the week, we have Mercury in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus. Now that's the thing, whenever any planet's interacting with Uranus, it's a wild card, man. Nobody can predict it. And it also can fire early and late. So I would probably say from Wednesday on, really watch. Now this could be like crazy synchronicities, like random downloads, incredible information coming through, but you have to make sure it's clear and you have to make sure that it's accurate, right? So no rash decisions, no running off and doing anything this week. This is a week to be measured, to be wise, and to be adaptable, because there is going to be a lot of change. And you know, change, even if change is good, it's a lot to absorb. All right, well, if you stuck with me all the way to this, I really super appreciate it. We're gonna do tarot spread now, Isis Lotus tarot spread, which gives us 2 different ways to work with the energy. So if you've never seen that before on my channel, I welcome you to hang in there and watch the rest of it. I wish you the absolute best this week. If you can drop a comment below, let me know if you have any questions, and also follow up with me. I'd love to hear how your week goes. A lot's gonna be happening. It's a turning point in many, many ways this week. All right. Namaste, my friends. I'll see you in the tarot. Bye. Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome to your Isis Lotus spread for the week of, I've got my September calendar open, so listen to me. July 17th. A little bit of a sketchy McSketch kind of week. So let's see what the Isis Lotus Tarot says. 2 different ways to handle the energies. All right. Ready to roll. All right, our first card is like the past, like what's been going on that brought us here, and 5 of Pentacles. Some feeling of being left out, of not having resources, like there's some sense of lack that kind of comes. It's kind of the environment of the week that we're coming into, right? And then, you know, you have been dealing with some karmic stuff, okay? Karma's been going down. All right. And then as we continue the week, let me look here. As we continue the week, we've got the environment of the present, and that is 3 of Pentacles. So we're in a building phase. Don't ever forget that, right? Things fall apart and we have to build. And as these all kind of come together, there's this desire to not see things clearly, a desire to either check out, to delude ourselves, to just not be like, you know, seeing reality. I mean, reality might be a little too real this week. We might not wish to see it, but deluding yourself, always a bad thing. The key card of the future is not to worry, to not feel like you don't have any control, that you don't have any solutions, all right? Now, the opposing forces in play, we can be the healed person with the star, or 7 of Cups. We've got some choices to make, right? So either things have kind of fallen apart, been difficult, and we're working on healing, or we have some choices that we need to make, all right? Now, as they come together, the key card is the 2 of Wands. You have to make a decision this week. There's a direction that you need to move in, okay? Now, on the one side, 6 of Wands. You may be getting some recognition. You're being admired and noticed. Ooh, on the Cups side, we've got the 2 of Cups. There's either a love relationship or a perfect situation happening. Okay, this is lovely. This is really lovely. All right. And then with the star, the 6 of Wands, we also have this 5 of Swords, which is an indicator that you can be overly focused on one thing, maybe even the wrong thing, not aware of the consequences of your actions, all right? So this is asking you to be a little bit more mindful. Paired over here, 7 of Cups, 2 of Cups, we've got the Queen of Swords. Once you make your choices and realize what you want and begin to move in that direction, be discerning. All right, this makes a lot of sense, especially with all the Virgo energy that's going to be coming up, right? Mars in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo coming up. All right, not this week, but coming up, right? So we have to be really logical. 2 possible solutions, right? So on the star side, we have the Emperor. We are taking charge. On the 7 of Cups side, we have the Queen of Wands. All right, we're initiating something that needs to be nurtured. With the Emperor, we've got 10 of Pentacles, abundance, right? So the week starts out a little rough. We're starting out a little rough, but it's moving in the right direction. And then paired with the Queen of Wands, we have The 10 of Swords. So we want to initiate, but there may be a little bit of a trip up. It's not going to be a direct straight line. Something's going to end that will create a new beginning. So wow, super interesting way to kind of launch the week. So either you've got to narrow the focus down a little bit, make some choices. Things will flow, but not all, it's not all green light, right? Be super logical, be super sensible, and keep moving forward, even if it feels like a failure, like a mistake, right? You're going to move through it. It's going to move you towards something new. Or you're in this process of healing and rebuilding. You're really beginning to embrace that Leo part of yourself, right? To be able to be seen, but it's easy to lose focus and not see the big picture. So make sure you see the big picture. If you're really involved with that big picture energy, you will be in charge and abundance will flow. Fascinating week, guys. I wish you the absolute best, and I'll see you next week.